Hello, English learners and teachers. This is your American English teacher, Maestro Sersea, right here in Southern California, United States of America. And today we are going to have episode 6. In today's episode, we will continue with vocabulary and do VOA vocabulary letter B, part 2 of 3. Then we're going to cover semantic analysis, and we're going to learn about homonyms and hyponyms. For American civics, we're going to learn about the American Congress, and for American culture, we're going to learn about American cars. So, are you ready to begin? All right, let's get started.
VOA Vocabulary Letter B, Part 2 of 3. Definitions. Belong, v. to be owned by, to be a member of. Below, add. Lower than. Best, add. The most good. Betray, v. to turn against, to be false to. Better, add. More good than. Between, add. In the space or time that separates, from one to the other, talks between two nations. Big, add. Of great size, not small. Bill, N. A legislative proposal. Biology, N. The scientific study of life or living things in all their forms. Bird, N. A creature that flies. Bite, v. To cut with the teeth. Black, add. Dark, having the color like that of the night sky. Blame, v. To accuse, to hold responsible. Bleed, v. To lose blood. Blind, add. Not able to see. Block, av. To stop something from being done, to prevent movement. Blood, n. Red fluid in the body. Blow, v. To move with force, as in air, the wind blows. Blue, add. Having the color like that of a clear sky. Boat, n. Something built to travel on water that carries people or goods. Body, n. All of a person or animal, the remains of a person or animal. Boil, v. To heat a liquid until it becomes very hot. Bomb, n. A device that explodes with great force, v. To attack or destroy with bombs. Bone, n. The hard material in the body. Book, n. A long written work for reading. Sentences. I believe that education is very important. This book does not belong to me. The apartment is below the second floor. She always tries her best in everything. He decided to betray his friend's trust. This restaurant is better than the previous one. The house is located between two large parks. That elephant is very big and heavy. The new bill will become law next month. Biology is the study of living organisms. The bird builds its nest in trees. The dog will bite if you approach suddenly. She wore a black dress to the party. Don't blame others for your own mistakes. The patient began to bleed after surgery. The man was blind from birth. Please don't block the emergency exit door. Blood carries oxygen throughout the human body. The wind will blow leaves across the yard. The sky is bright blue on sunny days. We traveled by boat across the lake. The human body has 206 bones. Boil the water for exactly 10 minutes. The bomb exploded with tremendous force. Calcium makes bones strong and healthy. I love to read a good book.
Definition: homonyms are words that share the same spelling or pronunciation but have completely different meanings. They create potential ambiguity in language that context must resolve. Explanation: homonyms demonstrate how language efficiently reuses sound patterns and spellings for multiple meanings. They include homophones, same sound, different meaning, and homographs, same spelling, different meaning. Context clues are essential for determining which meaning is intended. Homonyms often create wordplay, puns, and can cause confusion for language learners. 10-word examples. Bank, river edge, /bank, financial institution. Bark, dog sound, /bark, tree covering. Bat, flying animal, /bat, sports equipment. Bear, animal, /bear, to carry / endure. Fair, just /equitable, /fair, carnival /festival. Lead, metal element, /lead, to guide. Tear, from crying, /tear, to rip. Rose, flower, /rose, past tense of rise. Ring, jewelry, /ring, circular sound. Bow, weapon /ribbon, /bow, to bend forward. D. Hyponyms. Definition: hyponyms are specific words that fall under the category of a more general word, hypernym. They represent the is a type of relationship in semantic hierarchies. Explanation: hyponyms create taxonomic relationships in language, moving from general to specific categories. This hierarchical organization helps us classify and understand the world through language. For example, rose is a hyponym of flower, which is itself a hyponym of plant. These relationships are crucial for understanding semantic fields and how vocabulary organizes conceptual knowledge. 10-word examples. Rose, hyponym of flower. Apple, hyponym of fruit. Sedan, hyponym of car. Novel, hyponym of book. Sparrow, hyponym of bird. Oak, hyponym of tree. Violin, hyponym of instrument. Crimson, hyponym of red. Mansion, hyponym of house. Blizzard, hyponym of storm.
And now let's learn more about the United States of America. Today's article is Understanding the American Congress, a Guide for English Learners. Are you ready to begin? Let's go. Understanding the American Congress, a Guide for English Learners. What is the U.S. Congress? The United States Congress is the legislative branch of the American government. This means Congress makes the laws for the country. Congress has two parts, the House of Representatives and the Senate. Together, these two groups are called a bicameral legislature, which means two chambers. The U.S. Constitution created Congress in 1787. The Constitution is the most important law in America, and it explains how the government should work. How the House and Senate are similar. Both the House of Representatives and the Senate have several important things in common. Making laws, both chambers must agree before any bill becomes a law. If the House says yes to a new law but the Senate says no, then there is no new law. Representing people, members of both chambers represent American citizens. They speak for the people who elected them. Same powers, both have the power to investigate problems, question government officials, and control government spending. Political parties, both chambers have members from different political parties, mainly Democrats and Republicans. Committees, both use smaller groups called committees to study specific topics like education, healthcare, or defense. How the House and Senate are different. Despite their similarities, the House and Senate work in very different ways. Size and terms. House of Representatives has 435 members who serve for 2 years. Senate has 100 members who serve for 6 years. How members are chosen. House. The number of representatives from each state depends on the state's population. Big states like California have many representatives, while small states like Wyoming have only one. Every state gets exactly 2 senators no matter how big or small the state is. Special powers. House. Only the House can start bills about taxes and government spending. Senate. Only the Senate can approve judges, ambassadors, and other important government officials chosen by the President. Rules and procedures. House has stricter rules and time limits for debates. Allows longer debates and has a special rule called the filibuster, where senators can talk for hours to delay voting. What the Constitution says Congress should do. The U.S. Constitution gives Congress many important jobs. 1. Make laws, create rules that everyone in the country must follow. 2. Control money, decide how the government spends tax money. 3. Regulate commerce, make rules for business between states and with other countries. 4. Declare war, only Congress can officially start a war. 5. Impeach officials, remove government officials who break the law. 6. Coin money, control the country's money system. The Constitution's writers wanted Congress to work slowly and carefully. They believed that having two different chambers would prevent bad laws and protect people's rights. Current problems, political rhetoric, and effectiveness. Today, many Americans worry that Congress is not working as well as it should. There are two main problems. Problem 1: too much political fighting. Political rhetoric means the language that politicians use when they speak. In recent years, this language has become more angry and divisive. Instead of working together to solve problems, members of Congress often attack members of the other political party. Use social media to make angry statements. Focus more on getting attention than on making good laws. Refuse to compromise or find middle ground solutions. This kind of behavior makes it hard for Democrats and Republicans to work together, even when they agree on basic issues. Problem 2: lack of effectiveness. Many people think Congress is not effective anymore. This means Congress is not successfully solving the country's problems. Signs of this include gridlock, when Congress cannot pass important laws because the parties cannot agree. Government shutdowns, when Congress cannot agree on spending, parts of the government stop working. Low approval ratings. Polls show that most Americans are unhappy with how Congress is performing. Slow response. Congress takes too long to respond to urgent problems like natural disasters or economic crises. Why these problems exist. Several factors contribute to these issues. Polarization. Americans are more divided politically than in the past. Media influence. 24-hour news and social media reward dramatic statements over thoughtful discussion. Safe districts. Many representatives come from areas where most voters belong to one party, so they don't need to appeal to the center. Campaign funding. Politicians spend too much time raising money for elections instead of governing. What can be done? Experts suggest several ways to improve Congress. Election reform. Change how elections work to encourage cooperation. Term limits. Limit how long people can serve in Congress. Campaign finance reform. Change rules about money in elections. Civility training. Teach members of Congress to communicate more respectfully. Citizen engagement. Encourage more Americans to participate in the political process. So, conclusion. The American Congress plays a crucial role in democracy. While the House and Senate have different structures and powers, they must work together to serve the American people. The Constitution created a system designed to work slowly and carefully, but today's political climate makes cooperation difficult. Understanding how Congress works helps us become better citizens and voters. Despite current problems, Congress remains an essential part of American democracy. The challenge is finding ways to make it work better for everyone. Key vocabulary. Bicameral. Having two chambers or parts. Legislative. Related to making laws. Representative. A person who speaks for others. Filibuster. A long speech designed to delay voting. Gridlock. When government cannot function because groups disagree. Polarization. When groups become very different and refuse to compromise. Rhetoric. The art of speaking or writing effectively. Compromise. When both sides give up something to reach an agreement.
4 iconic American cars, symbols of freedom and style. Cars are an important part of American culture. In the United States, cars represent freedom, adventure, and the American dream. Some cars have become so famous that they are now symbols of America itself. Let's explore 4 iconic American vehicles that have captured the hearts of millions of people around the world. The Ford Mustang, the original pony car. The Ford Mustang first appeared in 1964 and immediately changed the car industry. Ford wanted to create a sporty car that young people could afford. The Mustang was perfect. It looked exciting, drove fast, and didn't cost too much money. The name Mustang comes from a wild horse that runs free across the American West. This name perfectly represents what the car means to Americans: freedom and power. The Mustang's long hood and short rear deck created a style that people still love today. The Mustang became incredibly popular very quickly. In its first year, Ford sold over 400,000 Mustangs. People loved that they could customize their Mustang with different engines, colors, and features. You could buy a basic model for everyday driving or choose a powerful V8 engine for racing. The Mustang has appeared in many Hollywood movies, which made it even more famous. The most iconic scene shows actor Steve McQueen driving a green Mustang through the streets of San Francisco in the 1968 movie Bullitt. Today, Ford still makes the Mustang, and it remains one of America's most beloved sports cars. The Chevrolet Corvette, America's sports car. The Chevrolet Corvette is often called America's sports car. It first came out in 1953 and was designed to compete with expensive European sports cars like Ferrari and Porsche. However, the Corvette had an important difference. It was made in America and cost less than those luxury imports. The Corvette has a sleek, low design that looks fast even when it's standing still. Its powerful engine and smooth handling make it exciting to drive. Over the years, the Corvette has gone through many design changes, but it has always kept its reputation as a high-performance vehicle. What makes the Corvette special is that it brings racing performance to regular people. While it's not cheap, it costs much less than European sports cars with similar speed and quality. Many Americans dream of owning a Corvette as a symbol of success and achievement. The Corvette represents American engineering and innovation. It shows that American companies can build world-class sports cars. Racing fans especially love the Corvette because it has won many important races around the world. The Jeep Wrangler, the adventure vehicle. The Jeep has an interesting history. It was originally created for the U.S. military during World War II. Soldiers needed a small, tough vehicle that could drive anywhere, through mud, sand, water, and rocks. The Jeep could do all of this and more. After the war ended in 1945, people realized that the Jeep was also perfect for civilian life. The modern Jeep Wrangler keeps the original military Jeep's spirit alive. It has a boxy, practical shape and can be driven with the top down or the doors off on sunny days. The Wrangler is famous for going off-road. It can climb over rocks, drive through streams, and travel across desert sand. This capability represents the American love of outdoor adventure and exploration. Many Jeep owners enjoy taking their vehicles camping, hiking, or on weekend adventures in nature. Jeep owners form a special community. They often wave to each other on the road. It's called the Jeep Wave. This tradition shows how the Jeep is more than just a car. It's a lifestyle that connects people who love adventure and the outdoors. The Chevrolet Camaro, the muscle car legend. The Chevrolet Camaro was born in 1967 as a direct competitor to the Ford Mustang. While the Mustang came first, the Camaro quickly developed its own personality. It was designed to be a muscle car, an American term for a powerful, aggressive-looking car with a big engine. The Camaro has always been about power and performance. Even the basic models look muscular and ready to race. The most powerful versions, like the Camaro SS and ZL1, have engines that produce incredible horsepower and can accelerate from 0 to 60 miles per hour in just a few seconds. Like the Mustang, the Camaro became a Hollywood star. The yellow Camaro, named Bumblebee in the Transformers movies, introduced the car to a new generation of fans worldwide. This movie appearance helped make the Camaro popular with young people around the world. The competition between the Camaro and Mustang has lasted for over 50 years. Fans of each car are very loyal and often debate which one is better. This friendly rivalry has pushed both companies to keep improving their cars, which benefits everyone who loves American muscle cars. Conclusion. These four cars, the Mustang, Corvette, Wrangler, and Camaro, are more than just vehicles. They are symbols of American values like freedom, adventure, power, and innovation. Each car has its own personality and attracts different types of people, but they all share one thing. They represent the American spirit. Whether you dream of driving fast on an open highway, exploring wild mountains, or just enjoying a beautiful sunny day with the top down, these iconic American cars offer a way to live that dream. They remind us why cars are so important to American culture and why they continue to inspire people around the world.